Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for January 9th, 2022, with your host, Peacemaker2448, and Ramp It Up Salon.
Hi.
We have 3 episodes because I forgot about this recap episode until I went, wait, don't we recap when you show up? Sees the next episode. Oh yeah, we do recap after you show up. That's stupid. I hate it. Skip. I know what this recap entails. I ain't spending time on it.
The problem I have with it is there is potential for this not to be a one-sided, I'm gonna change one minor detail, but we flounder it.
Look, we can't get rid of Oja's little super contract monster now that he just got it.
Yeah, we can. Because we have no explanation on if that's even actually supposed to be a thing. Just saying.
There.
For all we know, this deck is stacked for reasons.
It's stacked because Kanzaki Shiro is a fucking dick.
That, or it's stacked because he wanted to have a lab rat to test if this could actually be a thing.
Fair.
Because that seems more realistic in my idea.
Yeah. It's 25 through 28, folks. We're what, a little past the halfway point?
Yeah.
You know, I had the thought.
Also, I want to point out something. I know the show's going to continue calling him by his actual name, but why do I get the feeling this isn't him?
Oh, who, Odin?
No, it's him for that.
Oh, okay.
I would think.
Uh-huh.
As far as just him as a person, it is actually not him.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that now, it's not.
Because that one drop-off line that is said there, that's intentional.
Yeah. Because, would you care to guess when the first time we get to see Odin actually transform on screen?
Probably the end of the show.
Writer time Ryuki.
Well then.
Yeah. That is legitimately the first time you ever get to see Odin transform on screen.
Huh.
Uh-huh. Have I mentioned how Shiro's a terrible bad guy? Because he sucks.
When you love someone,
I mean,
you gotta trust them. There's no other way.
he's bad at his job
The key to everything that
and shouldn't quit his day job.
Otherwise, what's the point?
The fuck was even his J job?
Less evil science man?
I guess? The fuck were they even researching?
That's a good question. That's why I said it that way. Because it's like, wait a minute. We never actually get told what this group does besides, cause people to fight each other.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I also had the thought, since, GDQ is going on when we're doing this. If we ever do a charity marathon, I'm gonna require us to meet a total of at least $5,000, and I will legitimately rewatch all of Kabuto Solo. And talk about it on here.
don't know if I can
Here's
join you on that one. That was what I
No,
was
I
sitting
am
there
not asking you to-
debating if I felt
I am
like
not
I could.
asking you to join me on this stupid idea.
Oh,
No.
I know you weren't. I was thinking, I might double down and be like, sure, I would do it with you, but I don't know.
See, here's the thing. Everyone who donates, who would donate to make me see that for charity. Surprise! I'm not beholden to say good things about the show because you donated money to make this happen.
Yeah.
I still get to have my opinion about Kabuto, which, considering the last time I left off was in the late 30s, it was garbage.
Because
I don't
someone
think that's
decided he
changing.
wanted to keep going.
Yes, because I am incredibly stupid.
Also the same person that finally got fed up with Ghost, within the last 10 episodes, as we found out?
Yeah.
And proceeded to watch the entirety of Saber?
Okay, part of that is because Hawk was streaming it, and I was like, I'm fine watching this with people. Because misery loves company.
I dropped it early when I saw too many similarities. I'm like, nope, not doing that again.
There.
And then, much like the reason why you continued through Saber, I saw the last episode, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't miss nothing. Cool.
Nope.
Because that was what was bad. That ending even felt like the way Ghost ended. And I'm like, yeah, no. Cool, didn't miss nothing.
Yeah. So if we ever get something together, folks, that's the goal.
I might go in with you on that one and do that as I might watch Saber through its entirety. Because I might could do that one.
That is a double dose of things I don't want to rewatch. The only thing would be worse if we were having to rewatch Geo in combination with this.
Don't give ideas. Don't
That is
give
yeah.
ideas.
That is definitely one of the things I'm like, no, there is not enough money in the world. For charity.
I actually don't know, though, with Geo if that would be anything, saying as how people could just go back through TGSRs.
Fair.
Because
They can have us.
unfortunately, we both went all the way through that one.
Yeah, they could hear us moan about it for several dozen episodes in a row.
Like, I was hopeful until we doubled down and was like, no, this is actually the proper universes, and then I'm like, great. Way to screw it up.
Way to take Terry's kid away from him. Fuck you, Sogo. Legitimately go fuck yourself. You took away Terry's kid by causality.
Well,
You can fuck off for an eternity.
That, the convoluted mess we had at the very beginning with the build tribute, if you can call any of them tributes.
Yeah.
I don't get how they screwed that one up that bad. But
Apparently
I can honestly say I could watch that show better than I could Kabuto.
Probably. Apparently, they underestimated when the Emperor was going to retire. It was like a year later than it was supposed to, so that's why Geo happened the way it did because of misplanning. But I've only ever heard that. I have no source for that. That is all hearsay, and I'm like, even then, this reeks of garbage. There is only so much mismanagement that can explain why this show is a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, on my rewatch of 01, just to kind of throw this out there too. I'm up to the beginning of the show competition. Or, I mean, the job competition. I'm like...
Oh, goody.
Part of me feels like I want to just skip past it. The other part of me is like, actually, there is little things in here. Sure, I'll watch it.
Like I replied, because Pronghorn Heroes, one of them did a video talking about the job competition and why it was good. I pretty much laid out what I've always thought. If you recontextualized it and have it been about the vote from day fucking one, instead of this best of 5 bullshit, it's fixed.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the simplest fucking fix in the world.
And make each of the challenges just a case of trying to win people over one way or the other.
Exactly, because it also helps Guy's characterization during that, because, you know, he's an absolute scumbag, but he doesn't want it public. Look, you can cheat, but you don't get caught cheating, and it gets back to me. Otherwise, I don't give a shit. Because that's how he is the entire arc.
Yeah.
And that makes far more sense if it's about the vote the entire time. Because it's like, no, if you get caught cheating and it comes back to me, that affects the vote, and I can't have that. So cheat, but don't involve me.
Also, why Shout Factory? Why?
On Izu?
No.
Oh, what did they do?
On why we added the... We had to take a forced break thanks to COVID episodes that are mostly just recaps. They've actually got them listed as the proper episodes.
I guess because they're in the batch deal, so we gotta sub them.
Yeah.
Although...
But why not have those as extras? Like, I've actually seen... Well, case in point, the site I usually watch everything through. They actually did it that way.
Yeah.
It's then technically extras, but they've still got them listed in the same order as the rest of the episodes. That would have made more sense.
Actually, for whatever reason, Tubi, or on Tubi, Real Time is listed separately than the show, instead of being listed with the show, like it is on Shout Factory's website for some stupid reason, even though they list movies separately on Shout Factory's website.
Oh, it's on Tubi also?
Yeah, it just went up on Tubi this weekend.
Okay,
with,
good. I will probably transition to that.
Yeah, it went up there with the original Gridman series and one of the Ultraman shows. I forget which one. But 3 of them went up on Tubi, like, I think sometime Friday or Saturday. I saw the tweet, but it didn't cross my mind until I was like, I want to rewatch, like, the final transformation with Izu and Naruto in Real Time again. Because Real Time makes me happy. Unlike the V cinemas that make me sad and make me go, why?
I feel like the V cinemas give a good story. I just wish they hadn't doubled down on the ending.
Murdered 5 characters for no good reason?
Technically, though, only murdered 1.
I know, but still. Why all the bloodshed?
Like, I'm fine with 4 of the 5 happening. Because they fully set that up. You kind of were already seeing that coming at the beginning.
Right.
That last one that we can't, you know, just use a Uno reverse card on there. Yeah, that one's kind of like, yeah. Why did we go that hard on it, guys?
I don't know, because none of it makes sense in my head. Just like, I don't get it, because the theming doesn't work.
The other 4 I get because, oh no, they blew up. Well, guess what? When we need them again, they'll just be new models.
Yeah.
We already did it in show. It's one of those, it's like, okay, those four will come back if we need them. If not, they're dead.
Yeah. Like, Jin's on his third body. This is nothing new to him.
Yeah. It's one of those, at that point, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah. The fact that we had to double down on all of it there, and it's like, oh no. What have you done?
Of course, now to think about it, would Naki be on their third as well? Does this Fua count? Actually, no. No, they'd be on their fourth then, wouldn't it?
Don't think. Well, you
On
kind
their
of would
fourth
have to
body.
argue that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be on their fourth body.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, I'm sorry. You threw out the idea of killing these human gears to make me feel anything a long time ago. It's not gonna work. No,
yeah, that.
you broke that rule. You broke that rule several times over. No.
It was fine when we did it with Jen. It was understandable all the way through, really, with all of them, because we kind of set that up from the start. As long as there's a backup, they can be rebuilt.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I'm like, I am perfectly fine with, if we need heroes to sacrifice themselves, it should be them.
Mm-hmm.
I am not fine with the rest of what happened there.
Yeah, especially with Naki getting replaced by two people who have no character and will not have any character unless we bother to follow up on this, which we will never do unless the American comic thing does. Which I have to think that those aren't going to follow up from these V cinemas. If anything, they'll just be in between episode stuff.
Maybe.
Or just, hey, we're just gonna grab the 0-1 characters and just kind of do our own thing because we're allowed to.
It depends,
at that
though.
point, why not? Yeah. Because, like, what is your sandbox post those V cinemas? You have Aruto, you have Izu, question mark, maybe? You have Yaiba, and you have Guy.
Yeah.
Last night... I'm sorry, only like 3/4 of those characters people like.
But I mean...
Guy is not one of them.
But I mean, Guy had the redemption.
No, he did not.
Yeah, they kind of flubbed that one, unfortunately. But I felt like that was more because of the fact of, you know, loss of episodes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No.
I
Hey,
feel
wanna make
like,
that...
in all seriousness, the bulk of his redemption arc was supposed to be tied to whoever was actually going to be the upgrade for the arc.
Yeah.
I feel like that was where his redemption arc was there, and it just kind of... We had to shuffle things, and that's the only way that works now, and it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Honestly, if that comic wants to win me over immediately, I'll pretty much say, this is if Thouser was main villain of the show. It just became the arc, and everyone has to deal with that. I'm on board with that idea.
You know, actually, an idea that might work would be if they used them to essentially rewrite how 0-1 should have ended.
Yeah.
And do it the way they originally intended.
Mm-hmm. Also, just gonna throw this out there. Izu, writer form, do it. We've got an Azu one. I need an official Izu one. Don't make me 3D print a helmet just for a custom for this. I will do it.
I mean, who's got 0-2?
I mean, yes, but also I want her to have her own rider form. Because then I want 02 plus her rider form for a fight.
Yeah, but 02 is not the final form. You know I'm not wrong, as much as that's painful.
Yeah. they're desperate to get realizing Hopper over as the final form. They're so desperate. And I'm like, no! It will never be final form. I don't care.
No. No, it never will.
Anyway, we have to talk about Ryuki at some point.
I mean, do we?
Yeah, if we want to get this show over with.
Fine, I guess.
Alright,
we'll
we're gonna
talk
kick
about
off.
the 3 episodes.
Yeah, we'll kick off our look with episode 25, Combining Oja. So, Shiro has called off the rider fight because he can't find Yui. And they need to go find Yui, or they'll get eaten by their contract monsters. Or other monsters.
And
By the way,
and I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I want to. He only cannot find her because she has found the one place where there is no mirrors or glass.
it shows up in the water.
Okay, technically though, after they came there in a car,
True.
he could have came through the car.
Yeah.
She might have legitimately found the only spot that he cannot find her.
Also, how the fuck did you not track her there? Did you look away? She was at your house to start with. You telling me you didn't follow her?
No, because he's her brother, not a stalker.
Are we sure about that?
Nope.
Also, I'd like to point out that this affects Shinji, Rin, and Kitaoka. Kitaoka does fuck all this entire episode and does not get punished for it in any capacity.
And it clearly does not affect Oja.
Yeah, I guess because he didn't even bother, because he's like, I'm not involving him, he'll murder him.
But he called off the rider fight. Should that not have also removed his too?
He's too busy smacking his head in the shit and wanting to kill his brother to fucking notice.
Fair. Fair.
So yeah, that is our plot for the episode. Meanwhile, Asakura talks more about his past to Reiko, and I've lost interest in this plot already because I know where this fucking goes.
I mean, we all do after the next episode.
Yeah. He's also like, I wanted to save my brother, but I couldn't. Fucking bullshit.
You're so full of crap, it's pathetic.
Why is anyone even attempting to buy your bullshit?
Because we have to fill holes in, and there's a limit to how many times we can do a time reset for nothing.
A
A little bitter on how they pulled that one.
Fair. Fair. So, we then cut to Ren and Shinji. They go to the Aunt for help. That ends up getting them to the Kansaki house. Inside, they find one of the paintings and it points them to the beach. So they go to a beach. Then there's some shenanigans at the Ori Journal I don't give a shit about. Kizioka's not helping because he's taking a nap on the floor. Where he belongs. Eventually, Shinji and Ren find Yui on the beach. We do get, at this point, the backstory that Goro works for Kitaoka because Kitaoka took his case instead of making a doctor's appointment. So his disease progressed further than it should have in order to catch it and stop it. So
yes, his
Goro
disease of plot has progressed so far that they can't cure it.
Like, how long was Goro's case then? So I'm like, it can't have been like days away. right?
Wouldn't have thought.
Like, it would take longer for it to progress that far from potentially curable to nope. But then we check in with Reiko. She meets with Asuka's brother. He's like, I want no part of this, until Reiko eventually just talks him into this. Thanks, Reiko. You get this man killed.
And never find out about it.
Yep. That is not the button I wanted to hit. Shinji and Ren find Yui at the beach. She's just done with shit because she's not allowed to do anything in the show besides attempt to progress the plot forward, and everyone tells her no.
Yeah.
I feel for her in a later scene of just like, let this woman get a deck and just wreck some shit. She needs this. She needs to just punch a monster. But that's when a monster attacks that had attacked them earlier. The two of them end up running away because no contract monster means they can't transform, which... No, that's not how that works. They can transform.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have your normal stuff. You have the regular stuff, which, fair. We know Shinji's blank form stuff is garbage, but maybe Rin's stuff is better.
No, it's probably the same garbage.
Probably. Shiro does drop by to talk to Yui, lie some more, be a dick.
So the normal.
Our pair does manage to duck the monster somehow on this empty ass beach. And they meet back up with Yui, but Shiro's vanished. But he's like, "Your power shall return soon as soon as I find the switch."
Because
Like,
I can snap my fingers and make the cards disappear, but I can't do it the other way. Saying.
Yeah. This is when Reiko calls Shinji to catch up on the whole Asakura situation. They decide to bring the brother to Asakura. They end up running into him in a tunnel, and then that's where Asakura's like, "Hi, brother. By the way, I wasn't trying to save you. I set the house fire. I wanted to kill you all, and now I found you, so now I can kill you." And then Fiddlesticks just pops out of the car, and is just back in the car with no trace before Reiko can even turn around and see this. Also, why did the ringing not go off for Shinji and Rin, who are 5 feet from them?
Reasons. Tell me.
So
I'm wrong.
Reiko missed. Yeah. So Reiko misses this, then gets knocked in the stomach, so she's knocked out. So we can have a fight scene. So Rin fights Asakura because at this point, Asakura just tries to bait Shinji into a fight because he's like, "Hi, hey, I killed someone in front of you. The fuck you gonna do about it?" And Shinji's like, "I'm gonna, because Shinji has no backbone and refuses to just commit because, I'm sorry, this man's beyond redeemable.
Yes.
Fucking Rider kick him and be done.
Mm-hmm.
We have Riders killed each other for less. So yeah, Ren fights Asakura, Shinji follows, but then he has to fight the monster from earlier. But then Kitoka shows up to fight Asakura because he's like, "I want to kill you because my disease is progressing and I need this over with." But then Asakura's like, "Oh hey look, Evil Diver's here. Mine! I've got 3 now. I can use my Unite card to turn him into Genocider."
Because, you know, I have to have these 3 specific ones or I can't use this Unite card.
I mean, technically his Survive form just melds a ton of them together. but yeah.
I'm not joking on that because the close-up we get of the card actually has those 3 on it. So I feel like if he had 3 others, it would not work.
True. But yeah, it then shoots a blast and demolishes them, which takes us to episode 26, Zolda's Assault. So Rengo survive to try to counter Asakura, whose genocider has dismantled itself. So Asakura goes with Raya's final vent. They tie. What? What do you mean the survive vent that should be stronger than a normal final vent ties with Asakura's regular stolen ass final vent?
Also, I want to go a step further. The survive card that Ren has actually should have been used in conjunction with the final form that was being used by Oja at the moment.
Yes.
Meaning it should have been stronger.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you look at that.
Also, I'd like to point out that we see them collide, we cut to the opening, we come back, fucking Shinji and Rin are in a car driving away with Reiko in the back seat. They escaped off screen. This fucking show, I swear.
You know what's worse?
What?
The fact that we saw him standing on the bridge in the actual world that they were fighting, from where they were fighting on, also means that he left through the car too, before they left.
He left through the car that you had to use to get here.
So that means that apparently these final events hit. They all said, well, that happened, let's leave.
Also, I would like to note that the only Inoue episode in this batch is the first episode of our batch. The rest are Kobayashi. Oja's secret was also Inoue. That still doesn't excuse this.
No.
So at this point, Reiko wakes up. They lie to her about what's going on because how dare we involve her in the plot and use her to help us?
Yeah, how dare we use someone else to help advance plot?
I mean, it's not like we could use an expert journalist who is really good at researching and finding people.
And accidentally finding, information pertaining to this stuff.
Yeah. I also want to point out that they're like, Asakura is unclear on his motives. I'm like, the man wants to punch, and the man wants to kill.
Pretty clear on that.
Not that fucking complicated. He very clearly does not give a shit and just wants to punch people and kill people to make himself feel better. Because he had a shitty fucking childhood.
Or at least he thought he did.
Yes. It's not that complicated. I don't compute. Show, please. Show, please. But at this point, Ren's like, well, Shinji, you fucked up. I guess your goal's not gonna work. But he's like, I still believe in Kitioka. And I'm like, you are a poor, dumb, lost child at this point.
Yes.
We see that Goro is off doing errands for Kitioka because he injured his arm in the fight with Asakura earlier. Shinji dropped by as to talk. I don't remember what they talked about because I zoned out at this point, and I was just like, they are talking about bullshit. Well, Shinji's talking about bullshit. Kitioka's like giving him the time of day to ramble on, and I do not give a fuck. Eventually, Kitioka's like, will you be my secretary for a bit, I guess, to do this? And he's like, sure. So now Shinji gets to run around and do chores and shit for Kitioka that Goro should do. because Goro's busy doing important stuff. Because why would we let the Yakuza protagonist do anything in the show interesting? So we follow up with Reiko. She's looking into matters, especially because why Asakura keeps disappearing. She's pretty much figured out that there are shenanigans involved. She doesn't know what the shenanigans are. Meaning we should really just tell her what's going on and just move on. Thanks, show. Kyotoka gives Shinji the ringer. Ends up dropping by, gives him the hard truth of like, look, Kyotoka's not gonna listen to you, because he's got his very reasonable reasons why he's fighting. He's not gonna give up. Which, fair. It kind of is down to two of you on reasonable wishes that you're not going to give up on easily. Shinji, you are not one of them, because you refuse to have a motivation in the series. Besides, I don't want people to fight. But then some scary mooks show up and they're here about a trial. Like the trial, as the subs emphasize, even though we're told nothing about the trial.
I mean, it's the trial.
Yeah. They threaten Kyotoka, but then we have a monster show up in the mirrors, and Kyotoka and Shinji are like, the monster must be after him. We gotta do something about that. So they start following the guy after he leaves. We see that Yui runs off to investigate because she knows her sack of a shit of a brother is lying to her, but she wants to know if it's for a good reason or not. Which, fair, I'm pretty sure it's not. But at least you are acknowledging your brother is garbage. Because he is. Ren tells her no, but eventually she's like, alright, fine, but I am tagging along with you in case shit goes down. Which, good. I wish this was the show. I really wish Shinji wasn't here. But eventually, she wants to go see Eri, which surprises Ren, because, well, I guess I have to tell you about my fiance now, because she apparently didn't know till now. I guess we decided not to tell her when that was going to be important. Several episodes ago. Oops. Meanwhile, Reiko's reviewing some footage from the prison break. Shinji talks with Kyotoka. Kyotoka's like, no, we're gonna stop following. We're gonna let him get killed by the monster. We need to go back and make an alibi, because I'm not dealing this shit. And Shinji's like, no, fuck you. We're saving this person. Because that should have been my motivation from day one. And fucking hell, Shinji, why do you take an eternity to get to do anything? Why? Why are you so bad? Stop being bad.
Because he'll also forget that's his motivation here in, I don't know, literally about 5 more minutes.
So, like Toma with Luna.
Probably, yeah.
He so often forgets that Luna exists, because the show forgets that Luna exists until they're like, right, we have to have a Luna in the show. Oh, fuck, what do we do about that? So they eventually follow the guys into this parking garage, and the guys corner them, figure out what's going on. They get beaten up for trying to help them, which, fair. I do like Shinji flat on his face, ass up in the air. It is the perfect position for him.
Fair.
They do eventually keep following the guy. They intercept the monster. They have a fight. Shinji ends up using Zolda's cards. And they keep going to Zolda because that's how the card system works, I guess. And then they eventually blow up the monster. Meanwhile, Yui finds out about Aries' condition from Ren. She's very upset about this because A, I'm kind of responsible for your fiance being in this condition, and B, why the fuck do you hang out with me then? Because you should blame me. And Ren's like, I don't really blame you. Also, you're kind of a victim in all of this because fuck your brother. So I don't mind being with you. Which, good on Ren. But yeah, that's when we see the monster get blown up. But to end the episode, we see that Reiko spots someone in the mirror. I thought it was Asakura, but apparently she spots Shiro.
Yep.
I couldn't tell. It's so fucking blurry.
Yep. I kind of figured it was him, though. I'm like, yeah. It could have been either way. And I feel like they left it that way on purpose.
Mm-hmm. So how'd you feel about these two?
I mean, stuff tried to happen.
True. I continue to not like most of the cast of the show, which is like the worst thing you can do to me in a show, is make me not like the cast, because I would like to be off the train then.
It's... I almost feel like it could be fixed, though. And I'm not just saying that because Dragon Knight managed to make a more cohesive story.
Dragon Knight fixed all of the problems with Ryuki?
I'm more saying that I feel like you wouldn't have to do a lot of rewriting to make certain things work here.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem that keeps eating at me, because it's like there's potential. We just flounder it horribly.
Mm-hmm.
And literally the last episode of this batch had the shot that they could have fully went back and said, yeah, we see the problems, we're gonna fix them here, that way they're fixed going forward.
Nope.
But we don't.
Cool. Shall we hit that back half then?
Yeah.
So we pick up with episode 27, The 13th Rider.
Except
so
for
Aries...
it's not, because we haven't seen 13 riders in the show.
We've seen 7! How are you number 13? Where are the others? Neither of the movie or the special are out yet.
Also,
who are you talking about?
Also, I want to point out the number 13 only now begins to be important.
Yeah.
And by now, I mean we get the one reference here and the one line in the recap episode.
Yeah. So we see that Aries being worked on by the doctors because she, I don't know, was going critical early at the end of the previous episode for medical reasons. I don't know. So she's being worked on as Ren and Yui are watching. Oh, this is when they get the whole conversation from that I was talking about. Never mind. That happened this episode. Anywho, Ren hears a monster and he starts to go off and Yui's like, shouldn't you be here? And Ren's like, what am I going to do here? Which, fair. He can worry about her here, or...
I like how it's actually worded with it, where he flat out says the reason he became a writer is because of her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that makes a lot of sense. It's like,
yeah,
it's exactly what you said. it's a case of what can he do there. But the way that it's done, it's like, yeah, that actually is in character. I will give him that.
Yeah. But yeah, some monsters are monsters targeting some nearby kid. He saves the kid, goes after the monster, but the kid sees him transform. Fuck, I hate this kid. This kid sucks.
Yeah.
Also, this kid is traumatized by the end of this episode.
I mean, is he? Because of the events of the next episode?
Fucking, I don't know. It feels like a weirdly screwed up thing to do to this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the monster ends up escaping from the fight, so Ren comes out. And the kid's like, riders are cool. Meanwhile, Yui, again, fucking done with shit, just goes to the Kanzaki house and is just like, brother, we're talking, or I start blowing shit up. So, he talks to her, stonewalls her some more, and then she's like, fuck this bullshit, I'm done. And just starts ripping newspaper off all the covered mirrors and stuff, and I guess releasing monsters that are trapped in there, which I don't think the monsters obey the same laws as everyone else does, so that's not stopping them. I don't think.
You're actually right. I
She's also
wasn't even
like,
thinking about that when I was watching that, and I'm like, Now that's kind of interesting.
yeah. But she's also like, alright, fuck this shit. I want to fight. I'm gonna find me a belt. And I'm like, show, you tease me with a thing I would want, but I know you won't.
Nope.
Because it's early Heisei era, and that shit don't fly. Even though you have a female rider suit sitting and waiting for a movie, and you could just throw it in the series. But no, denied. Then eventually Shiro stops her, and we see some gold feathers come out of him, and like one of them scrapes her arm because they're sharp feathers? Okay. He also points out, oh, he only needed her to see in the mirror world, and he doesn't have a use for anymore, so don't bullshit or I will kill you. And I'm like, sir, you suck more and more every time. Because I'm like, you are gonna do nothing. We know you're doing this for her. You ain't gonna do anything to her. When push comes to shove, you won't. We know you won't. But eventually she heads off, just not wanting anything to do with him anymore. And that's when we see Shiro has the Odin deck. Ren eventually gets a call that Ares stabilized, so good news there. But then the kid drops in and is just like, hey, what's this whole rider thing? I want to be a rider. And Ren's like, kid, you saw nothing, fuck off. But the kid's like, no, I want to know. And then Fane's getting hurt by Ren and like tries to get some fucking adults to get on his case about this. And I'm like, Ren, why don't you just drive the fuck off? Who cares? I don't think anybody in that crowd cared.
It didn't look like anyone in that crowd cared.
Yeah. But Ren does see that the monster is after the kid. So he's like, fuck, I gotta deal with this kid. Fine, get on. We'll deal with this. So he brings him to Adley, and the kid's gonna stay the night, I guess, to keep him under protection. And then Ren's like, Shinji, here is brat of a child. He's your problem now. Goodbye. and takes a whole whopping, what is it, like 5,000 yen off his debt for this.
That has increased.
So like 300,000 yen. That's like $30,000 for reference. But we see him crash out for the night, and we just see him just like with tears in his eyes, just exhausted. Which, to be fair, he probably has had a long day between Eri and Yui. The man could use a nap and not have to deal with this shithead of a kid. I would believe this is the next day. Shinji makes the kid breakfast, and the kid's like, "Are you a writer?" And Shinji's like, "Yeah." And the kid's like, "You probably suck." And I'm like, "Fair. You get one. You get 1 point for calling Shinji a terrible writer."
Yeah, I kind of like that part of it where probably suck. Yeah, have you seen him fight?
This is when Goro shows up. Because he wants to learn how Shinji made some food that he made for Kitoko last episode because he liked it. So they start doing it, and of course, because Shinji is a fucking imbecile, takes his deck out and puts it on the table instead of back in his pocket. Like, do you, Shinji, please put your deck back in your pocket so that the small child does not steal it.
No, small child has to steal it to progress plot. No, I'm not wrong.
Yeah. So, of course, the kid steals his deck, outruns the two of them. That they trip at the doorway so they can tell Rin what the hell's going on. So they leave, and then Rin falls after them. And the aunt's like, "What's a glider deck?" And Yui's like, nothing important. At all. I almost wish Yui took this idea of like, wait, I could just steal the deck off someone? Maybe I should just steal Shinji's deck.
When she'd be a better Ryuki.
Yes. Please. Please.
She could actually convince people to quit fighting.
Yes, and she would actually probably also get shit done because she would probably actually go after fucking Asakura and fucking kill him so we could be done with him.
Or realize how completely useless of a human being he is and just tell Ren deal with him.
Yeah. This is a dumpster fire of a human being. There is no redeeming him. We should probably just kill him and be done. Otherwise, he will rack up a body count. On our account, on our watch. Maybe we should just take him out now. Anyway, you also see Kitoko take a nap on the floor again because of the progressing disease.
Progressive disease of plotitis.
Yep. This is when we catch up with the kid. He hears the monster because he has the deck, and it turns out to be Darkwing because Rin just had Darkwing cut him off and then ran up and grabbed him and then took the deck and kept it out of his hand. And of course we find out the kid's like, I want to be a writer because it's cool and powerful and I get to shove jerks around. And I'm like, you have terrible motivations. So Rin decides, you know what? Let him hold the deck so you can see this fight. And he just goes and fights the monster. And I love for some reason during this fight, Shinji's like, Rin's losing on purpose. And I'm like, are we sure about that? I don't think he's losing on purpose. I think he's legitimately losing this fight.
I also love the fact that, okay, I'll give him the, oh, well, Ren's losing this fight to, dissuade the kid from being a writer. Until both of the other writers decide to show up and it turns into a free for all.
Yep.
That should have been the point. Shinji was like, yeah, look, I need to go in there.
I need my deck back and go save my friend from dying.
Not, oh, we're just gonna watch this play out and maybe he can win. Shinji, you idiot. This is a loss for you regardless.
Yeah.
You either get your one potential helping hand killed, or he still destroys your purpose and kills both of them. This doesn't win for you.
Yep. Also, since Goro's here, he takes the time to chime in and be like, I've never seen Kitoga fight before, since, you know, Kitoga and Asakura show up by this point to turn this into a free-for-all. And then now we get this whole thing of traumatizing this kid being like, look, riders fighting isn't cool, especially when it's not against each other, and they fight forever. And I'm like, everything you're saying is the antithesis of everything from Phase 2 of Heisei era, which is my favorite era of Heisei, or my favorite era of Rider, and I don't know what to say to any of this besides no. You have a very warped idea of what a Rider is.
Mm-hmm.
It's also because all of you are assholes is why this fight is happening. No other reason. This fight would have happened even if you didn't have those belts on.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
I think we would at least have Kirioka sitting this one out.
Yeah. So, at this point...
Otherwise, yeah, you're exactly right, otherwise.
Yeah. So, at this point, the kid's like, alright, fine, I don't want to be a Rider anymore, and just goes home. Goro's like, I'll walk him home, I guess. Shinji takes his stack, he goes in, helps her in. Asakura is about to drop his new United Final event when Odin shows up, like, I am the 13th Rider. You will fight me as your final opponent.
Which proceeds to make them like, well, we'll just fight you now.
No. Then why the fuck are you here?
Exactly. He could do his little timey-wimey card without being in front of an audience.
Yeah. Anywho, Reiko now drops by and talks to Yui, and that's when we find out, oh no, your brother died last year in America. Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, because we just saw him 5 minutes ago.
He's kind of walking around and talking to people through mirrors. Which takes us to our final episode, episode 28, Time Vent.
I mean, do you count this one as an episode?
Well, I only say that because guess what, folks? It's a clip show, so it's not really an episode.
Yeah, pretty much this entire episode, you want to know what was new? It was one scene where we saw the aftermath of Yui's fight. And one scene where it was fixed again.
Yeah.
And one line referencing the 13 Riders.
Also, a thing with Renji's motivation that makes me just go, or not Renji, Shinji and his motivation. I don't know why I combined them into one person.
Because they would be better that way.
Fair. One thing with Shinji's motivation that just makes me go, why? Wait, are you doing?
Yeah, why did...
Shinji!
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Yes. Yes. If you don't even have to finish that statement. Yes.
So, Odin does his teleport shtick of just teleporting and just backhanding people left, right, and center, and including Shinji. And then he's like, I need to make a change! Time Vent! Which is the one and only time this shit gets used ever! Ever! He has a time reversal card!
We only need one clip show.
And he does all this to protect the picture that got water damage on it from when Yugi stormed into the Kanzaki house and fucking let Shiro have at it. But then we recap the show with Shinji remembering it, but unable to change anything, so he goes a little bit crazy. And he's like, when I see the feathers, I must turn around and punch something. So that's what he does at the end of this. Is when he sees the feather, he hits Odin in the chest with a strike vent. Just the strike vent part, not the drag rider part, just the dragon head part, which does nothing.
Yeah.
Bravo, Shinji, you still suck. But because of Odin being like, I will be your final opponent and I will kill you so I can make my thing happen or something, I don't fucking remember. Shinji declares, I will protect all riders, including people. And I'm like, so does that include Asakura, who, I remind you, murdered a man in front of you? Legit, murdered a man in front of you.
Also, question. He's gonna protect the riders. And Asakura is fixing to kill another rider. Who does he protect?
Yeah.
Shinji. You idiot.
God, Shinji sucks. Like I've heard someone like smack talk Ryutaro because he's boring, and I'm like, I'll take fucking Ryutaro over this fucking terrible person that is Shinji.
Okay. He needs to be boring so that the other four can be the life.
Right.
It works.
Uh-huh. He's the
Shinji
straight
being
man.
an idiot, we have no one that is smart.
Yeah. Ryotaro being the straight man to all of the Imagines comedy bits is the point. So that's the 4 episodes for this week, folks. Any thoughts on the last one in
The last
clip show?
episode.
The 1.00001 episodes?
Wasted potential.
Yeah.
Because there was no point for that clip show.
Yeah. I also love my villains when all they do is teleport and just smack people in the back of the head. That is the fun thing to watch as a fight scene.
I mean, it worked so well when they did it with Kronos.
Oh god. Yes, it also works well with Durandal and Saber. When I wish Durandal didn't exist in Saber for several reasons. Durandal needs to fucking time stop himself out of existence, please. You're the reason for bad things happening in Saber. I'm sorry.
You know,
Please fuck off.
You know, what's immensely funny? We've had so many issues of teleporting people in fight scenes that there's actually only, I think, one time that works. And that has actually been 01.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they kind of incorporate that with an actual fight scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole teleport. No. No. That's not a fight scene. That is a beatdown. There's a difference.
Yeah. So, folks, that's Ryuki for the week. Next week, we trudge through more of this fucking series.
Hopefully with less clip shows.
I think this is the only clip show.
It It really better be.
Better fucking be. We get another one, I'm tapping out. I'm done. Nope. We time vent one more time, so help me.
I would allow another time vent if it's productive. If it does exactly what this one did, no.
Yeah.
If it's a case of we change something so the plot going forward changes, sure. But we know that will never happen.
But between now and then, folks, Wednesday, we continue Prime 2. Thursday, I'm doing a KH2 Rando Seed that may or may not have Tommy doing it with me.
I might join you, actually.
Alright. Saturday, we talk shop on video games. And all week long, we're going to be hosting GDQ on the here. So if you don't want to deal with GDQ chat, if you want to chat to talk about GDQ runs and not have to worry about that, you're more than welcome to watch it here. So, folks, if you like what you see, drop a follow. We'd appreciate it. Chipping away at the affiliate goal. At Jesus on our Twitter, get updates on live. Next Point Discord chat. It's Discord link. Drop by. Say hi. See you Tuesday, folks.